Guru Padaka, the sacred feet of the Guru, is the boat that helps us cross the Ananta Samsara Samudra, the seemingly endless ocean of Sara or suffering. And the verse translates, salutations to the sandals of my Guru, which is a boat which helps me cross the endless ocean of life, which endows me with the sense of us have been feeling stuck in the same storming and raging ocean, being unable to navigate ourselves and lost in the overwhelming vastness of suffering that surrounds us during this pralaya, the great deluge. Our loved ones are dying due to the pandemic. Our homes are being destroyed due to natural disasters. Social institutions are crumbling, and the whole of humanity is in dire need of hope. At this time, the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, the incarnation of the cosmic superconsciousness, out of his love and compassion, having taken the spiritual responsibility for the superconscious breakthrough of the whole of humanity, is manifesting Devi Parashakti, the cosmic mother, in guiding and healing the whole world. Notes that Devi Parashakti is herself manifesting through the Nijavatara and answering each and every one of our prayers, granting boons, healing us, manifesting miracles, removing all of our pain and suffering. And Devi is not just attended to us individually, but also as a humanity, as of humanity, in the form of revelation, sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and by showing us the future regarding global issues which have not yet surfaced to common knowledge. In this segment, we will be elaborating on the statistical, scientific, and scriptural references of each sacred relation, which has manifested precisely as the same guidance emerged from Devi Parashakti, for us to imbibe deeply and to start following as Devi Parashakti continues to protect us until this storm ends and we are safely harbored at the shores of our consciousness. So now let us enter into the segment and understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed. Let us look at what Devi has the 8 methods to protect yourself from COVID-19.
Parameshwari Meenakshi, Parashakti Meenakshi, இங்கு எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தந்திட கைலாச சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் கிரகத்திருந்து நம் அனுக்கிரகத்தினால் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம். தர்மார்த்த காம மோக்ஷம் எனும் புருஷார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட வந்தேன் இங்கு. தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் ஒன்று, சமூக வலைதளங்கள் மூலமாய் என்னை எங்கெல்லாம் என் மகமாய் வடிவத்தில் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது 3, நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி வேப்பம் சாரருந்தி தினந்தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது 4, நிர்விகல்ப நிலையிருந்து நிறைத்து உயிர்வது 5, சிவ எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நிறைவான பூரண மனத்தோடு வாழைப்பழத்தோலும் வெங்காயமும் குதிகாலில் பத்திட்டு நித்திரையில் அடங்குவது 7, ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஸ்புரணத்தில் இருப்பது 8. கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் பயமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் மயக்கமும் வாழ்வீர்கள் வளத்தொடு நல் ஞானம் யோகத்தொடு நாமே நிம்மோடு நானே நீயாய் நீயே நானாய் நல்வாழ்வு வாழ்வீம் கொரோனா உங்களை எட்டவிடாது காப்
Let us look at the translation of Devi Parashakti's revelation. Oh humans, don't be through these 8 ways, praying and meditating on me, surrendering to me through social issues and meditating on me every day. Doing the Ajapa Ajapa of the cosmic sound Shiva 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 with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the heels and going to sleep. Being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting, in the Arunachala Spurana that blossoms as aham aham in the state of Ananda Spurana. Everyone who thinks on this, they will not have the effects of corona. They don't have fear and delusion of corona. You will live with prosperity, with wisdom and fortune. Me with you, you as me as you. You will live good life. Even if you is, I will protect you. Corona will not reach you. So now let us look at each of these methods, this revelation, made to protect humanity. The first method that Devi revealed is praying and meditating on Devi Parashakti. And science has controlling anxiety, promoting emotional health, enhancing self, lengthening the attention span, and it may also reduce age-related memory loss, easily accessible anywhere. And a study published by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services found that meditation has a direct impact on our physical as well as our mental health. And another study by Cambridge University Press reassessed of meditation during times of crisis such as COVID-19. By everyday health has by providing social support, by lifting the spirit, by difficulties, and a September 2015 report published in Health Psychology found that when researchers followed 191 people with congestive heart for 5 years, they found that those who reported, and people with major depressive disorder or chronic medical illness who report high levels of religiosity, which includes daily religious experiences, generally become more optimistic than their peers. This was found in a study published in July 2015, Depression and Anxiety. So now let us listen to what this is a video explaining how the avatar has himself demonstrated the power of meditation on our brain.
Scientific researches to derive evidences for meditation and healing through meditation. Dr. R. Murli Krishna, President, COO, Integris Mental Health and James L. Hall Jr., Center for Mind, Body and Spirit, Oklahoma in US, invited Nithyananda to derive scientific evidences for meditation and the state
willing to undergo some scientific investigation of the meditation process. He very cheerfully agreed without one complaint. He went for 3 repeat sessions for PET scanning and 3 repeat sessions for quantitative EEG sessions. And these are really not very easy tests to go through. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of willingness to do that. So we did that. Because if a meditation process is doing something to your brain, that. And we have some interesting findings.
In PET scan, dye which goes and sits in parts of the brain that are active. In the normal, non-meditative state, the brain is very active. And when we are seeing someone, the rear end of the brain, the visual cortex, is very active, as shown in the diagram.
Usually the brain is so active at 100 there. But what meditation does is where you have judgment, wisdom, reasoning. Here are some of the share with you. This is alert, non-meditative state. The second one is 30 minutes into 30 minutes meditation. Look at the frontal lobes, how they light it up. They light it up big time. 60 minutes of deep meditation, and here is a deep, deep level of meditation where it lights right in the middle, probably an inch and a half, 2 inches deeper. Swami was inside, and that's the last part of that Swami showed. But this is something interesting. There is something called dopamine, which is a chemical our brain is involved in. Dopamine is produced mostly in this area. And when you have any pleasurable feeling in your body, it is mediated through dopamine. It's a neuroreceptor. It's a chemical that transmits messages of pleasure. Basically, the same thing is with visual pleasures you have. Beautiful people, beautiful sceneries, nature, whatever gives you pleasure. It's that you and I have the potential to create our own dopamine in a big way. So I named it, for lack of a word in the past, the D spot, which is the dopamine spot. If you can discover your D spot, you got it made in life. The D really stands for divine spot. The D also stands for delight, and the dopamine spot. What's also interesting is that he could, at will, go in and out of those states. Those are some of them I want to share with you. There's so much more talk about physiology of mind in our own lives. Not only a sophisticated knowledge, but these things have application in daily life for all of us.
Nithyananda's system of free healing, known as Nithya Spiritual Healing, the medical world, curing diseases from migraine, conducted on Nithyananda's neurological system, can be found in the book Mystic Phenomena, Scientific Data.
And now let us understand what the Supreme Concept has revealed as the power of puja, how is the best stress buster. Let us watch that video.
Is the best thing in your life, you are abused. Your divine rights are violated. If you are inspired to do yoga early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, and everyday puja, sit that 35 minutes and melt down to bust your value. Prayer is down. Prayer. Shiva. Intense yearn Paramashiva. Nothing can be compared to that to bust your stress. I tell you, everyday puja is everyday puja. The kind of the live, I have seen the people who have the habit of Nitya Puja live long, not just long, happy. Puja, that gave me all the best things of life. Everyday puja, relating with the deities, is the best stress buster. Touch the deities, do decoration, dress up. Even now, my best time of the day is when I sit with my deities. Sit with my deities. Talk to them. Intensely pray. Deeply connect and pray. You do not God landing in physical deity form. Never underestimate the power of Archavatara. The Archavatara is equivalent to living avatara. Living avatar is literally living Archavatara. It's a piece of God. Literally.
The next method, surrendering to Devi Parashakti through social media. During the Akashic readings, Devi Parashakti gives us the opportunity to connect with her through various social media platforms and attends to us individually to our prayers and showers us with blessings and boons. Let us now see how we can connect to Devi Parashakti through social media. Kailasa's SH YouTube channel. You just click the join button next to the name. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and ask your questions during the live Parashakti Akashic readings in the comment section of the live video. You can follow that. Once you have done that, you can ask your questions during the live Parashakti Akashic reading in, again, the comment section of the video. Nithyananda on Twitter. And once you've done that, you can ask your questions in the reply section of the tweet with the hashtag #AskTheAvatar. Next, you can connect with Devi on Instagram. So you can follow Nithyananda. And you can also lastly connect with Devi Parashakti through WhatsApp. You can visit kailasa.org and you will see a WhatsApp chat box that pops up. And you can ask your questions here in the chat. And all of these methods are a simple way for you to connect with Devi Parashakti. All you need to connect with Devi is just your sincere devotion and love to connect with her. Now let's watch a short clip of Devi Parashakti blessing people.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குருபதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள்.
When you connect with her as a method to protect yourself from COVID-19. Devi reveals that wherever by doing the fire walking. Fire walking is an alchemy science has revealed. Our rishis and munis have been in every field, whether health or keeping the society safe, it's highly useful to the life. Coronavirus will not affect you at all because of that. Fire walking time, the small blisters you get just shoots up your whole immunity, the power to protect yourself from any virus or any problem. It's actually, and especially it is done very traditionally. It will not work on you. It will not affect you. And don't worry, it is a traditional way of making you immune. Actually, it's a traditional vaccination process. It's a fire with the will be awakened. In that peak altered state of consciousness, will first awaken, trigger the detox system, and then walk on fire, the 11 feet fire pit. As if you do for one fire walk and do this traditional fire walk, the coronavirus. No need to panic. Traditional vaccination, traditional, natural, organic, no bad side effects vaccination is the Hindu fire walking. So now let us watch a short video on the science behind walking as revealed by the Supreme.
All this transmutation and awakening the whole consciousness to your whole body is what I call transmutation processes. Some parts of your body becomes insensitive to the existence because of the job it is doing, like a feet. Because of the continuous walking, it becomes insensitive. You are sensitive. They don't become they lose sensitivity to the but for the complete Kundalini experiencing the reality and ability to experience the higher consciousness, that is the reason we have the process of
short video of the Supreme Concept of himself doing the fire walking in Tiruvannamalai. We can move to the next video. We can move to the next video. Yes, we can move to the next video. Let us now watch the Concept of himself doing the fire walking in Tiruvannamalai.
காத்திடும் உத்தமத்தியே சத்குருவாய் வந்த நித்திய தாயே வேதங்கள் வணங்கிடும் ஆதியும் நீயே ஜோதிமலையிலே அவனியை பேணும் ஞானமும் நீயே அக்னி வடிவிலே அருள் புரிந்தாயே நீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி தீனிலே வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் கர்மங்களை கொண்டிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி
Let us now look at some of the science behind the fire walking as according to modern science. In this study that was conducted by the U.S. National Study of Medicine, National Institute of Health, it was found that the Those who participated in fire walking had increased levels of happiness and lower levels of defeat compared to those who did not participate in fire walking. The next method revealed by Devi Parashakti is to apply turmeric, drink neem juice, and meditate on Devi Parashakti every day.
Bididi. It is not from air. I am talking from ground. In Bididi, before we came to that land, 30 borewells were dug, no water. Now, from the day we came till now, we have water for 10,000 people to pouring. Pouring. Us, we know biology, whole biology things. If you are having bitter relationships in your life, just start drinking bitter neem juice every morning. The problem will be solved. Understand, if you are irritated, even if you don't react, even if you don't talk to people, you release that kind of vibes. You will see you release sweet kind of vibes. Take neem juice, you release healing, compassionate vibes. A woman who applies neem powder and takes bath, who applies turmeric powder and takes bath, is equivalent to Karumari Mahamayi. That neem paste and turmeric powder, yes, she will be same vibes of Karumari. I sincerely recommend neem paste and taking bath, applying haritaki powder and taking bath. For women, neem paste and turmeric paste. All four can be used by both all genders. That is, if you want specific, haritaki and male body. Understand your whole biology things. Working on whole biology change. So now this is ajapa ajapa. Think Mahavagya. With the understanding your whole biology things. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Now that we've understood the benefits of neem juice as revealed by Buddhism, let us look at what modern science has, as the last few decades, it has been shown to be a potent immunomodulator. It modulates the activation of T cells, B cells, macrophages, neutrophils, natural killer cells, and dendritic cells, which are various immune cells. And it can also downregulate the expression of various pro-inflammatory cytokines and chemokines. And this was found in this was published in the National Center for Biotechnology Information US on the health. Next slide, please. And in an article published for this purpose. And it was also reported that turmeric and neem are effective against coronavirus, according to a KGM study. And the next method to protect yourself from COVID-19 is with complete mind applying banana peel and onion to the heels and going to sleep. And this is how you can do it. You can just put the banana peel or onion on the heel, put a sock over it, and you can sleep like that. And this will detox your entire body and, of course, protect you from COVID-19. Medical Daily has published the benefits of onion, which it states that onions contain a high amount of sulfur compounds, which not only give onion the recognizable smell, but also they are powerful detoxifying agents. And with more than 100 sulfur-containing compounds, which are what cause the eyes to tear, onions can help prevent and treat ailments from diabetes to heart disease with daily consumption. And it's very well known in Ayurveda for its medicinal uses, the primary purpose of onion. It's stated that compounds from onion have been reported to have a range of health benefits, which include anti-carcinogenic properties, antiplatelet activity, antithrombotic activity, anti-asthmatic, and antibiotic effects. And the next method to protect yourself, touch state, filling with eternal bliss by the Supreme Consciousness of Wisdom. You can watch this video now on the science of unclutching as revealed by the Supreme Concept of Wisdom.
like Dakshina Murti. In the lower level brand, the brain is the organ which controls our whole physical being. Once our brain has been imbalanced, it will then transmit that imbalance throughout the whole body. Thought forms are pure energy that have the ability to influence people, and everyday event may be measured by such instruments as we think, and as our mind is never still, we may be compared to perpetual power generators. Fear produces nervous disorders. Anger produces headaches and violence. Confused thoughts produce depression causes cancer through own willpower. Our thoughts generate injury can be detected by sensitive equipment. Surprisingly, thought forms are shaped by the thoughts themselves. Each of us creates hundreds of thought forms every hour and release them into the environment. Although we cannot see them, the thought forms have as real an existence as any other form of energy. Most people can sense others' thought forms, and a continuous energetic exchange happens between people about which we are usually unaware. This also explains why we sometimes take a sudden liking, dislike to a certain person. Thoughts are like bubbles in a fish tank. Just as bubbles in a fish tank rise from the bottom, our thoughts also rise in the same. When one bubble comes and reaches the surface of the water, but our mind is not a continuous stream. There is always a gap between two thoughts. Like the bubble also experience a neutral space between two thoughts, between two God. Since the gap or the neutral and form but there is always a gap between two thoughts. In the forest of northern India, the hunters trap the birds using a trap. They tie a rope between two trees. The rope is the shaft that we create by connecting two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a wooden stick. The stick is our mind. The rope is tied at the midpoint of the stick. When a bird comes and sits on the stick, the bird's own weight turns the whole stick upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. The moment it turns upside down and loses its sense of balance, it feels totally shaken and tightens the stick. It simply holds onto the stick as in our mind. We might be lost. We might lose our identity. Because it is hanging upside down, it thinks, if I think that we are unconnected, unclutched, independent and illogical thoughts, we might be lost. If the bird lets go and relaxes, of northern India, the hump is the shaft that with two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a wooden stick. The stick is our mind. The rope is tied at the midpoint, turns the whole stick upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. The moment it turns upside down and loses its sense of balance on it, thoughts and form a shaft out of it and live in the fear that if we drop our mind, we might be lost. We might. Because it is hanging upside down, it thinks, I will fall and die. Is similar to the fear that if we start trusting that we are unconnected, unclutched, we flutter to balance for a moment or two. When it leaves the stick, maybe for a few seconds, it will fall, but then it will adjust itself and start flying. In the same way, we hold on to whatever we think is our identity and security, our education, our mind, our life, our bank balance, ultimately comes to can become a Paramahamsa. That very moment we can be. And in the tallest branch of the tree, there is a golden bird sitting unclutched like Dakshinamurti. In the lower level branch, there is a small bird which jumps from here and there to various branches eating fruits. When it eats a bitter fruit, it feels bad. Whenever she eats the bitter fruit, she sees the bird which is looking above silently like Dakshinamurti and feels why I should not be like that bird. But unfortunately, when the same bird, when it eats tickling between branches, eating bitter and tasty fruits again and again, one day as a small bird flies up higher, and as it reaches near the golden bird, it realized that he and she are the same. There is no difference between them both and realizes her origin a Paramahamsa. This moment, trust yourself. Don't bother about losing your identity. Just trust yourself and let go of your identity. You will immediately become a Paramahamsa and be liberated. All you need to do is to trust that you're unclutched. Dropping the conclusions you can't be transformed is unclutching.
Now that you've understood the science of unclutching, you can also spend a few moments in your day experiencing this science. Sit with your head, neck, and spine, and this rhythm of unclutching manifests in you, and chant the Mahavakya Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. The next method revealed by Devi Parashakti is to do Ajivashivam. And a study conducted by the U.S. National Library of Medicine has shown the best of chanting it of the Ajiba Ajiba, the vagus nerve stimulation, which is used as a treatment for depression and epilepsy. And a study conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto establishes that human intentions, words, or thoughts can actually change the very molecular structural formation. In interesting research clearly depicts how when the water is being exposed to positive sound vibrations, the molecular formation in the water changes to a very pleasant formation, whereas any negative sound or vibration can disfigure, distort, or disintegrate the water. Example of the structural formation of water when exposed to positive sound vibrations versus negative sound vibrations. We can see that in the next slide. We can go back to the previous slide. Yes, so you can see when it is exposed to positive sound vibrations like passion, words like thank you, wisdom, vibrations like heavy metal music, or words like I will kill you and you fool, you can know structure. Versus when negative sound vibrations are used, it becomes disintegrated. So you can imagine what happens inside of your body, which is composed of up to. So as these last two methods, the Minutes for Peace and be a part of this initiative. And Supreme Consciousness has revealed that if 10,000 people can do this for just 3 months, we can give such a powerful superconscious breakthrough to the whole of humanity. Because all of us are interconnected. We are not all one. The bliss of you untouched, nothing goes to waste in this cosmos. This is what the Supreme Consciousness has revealed about this. Minutes for Peace at Kailasa. Let us look at the last method Devi Parashakti revealed. Being in these states beyond any remembrance or forgetting, the Arunachal blossoms as aham, aham, in the anonymous. So constantly being free from COVID. Each of these methods are individually powerful enough to protect you from COVID and ensure that you are staying safe and meditate upon Devi Parashakti. In this next segment, we will understand some of the ways and methods that we can pray to Devi Parashakti. We can meditate on Devi Parashakti, worship her divine majesty. We'll be entering offering segment now, where we will understand some of the various offerings that we can make today.
Nithyananda, and welcome back. Now see the various traditional offerings. In the Hindu tradition, the offerings to the divine are made as a pure gift of love, devotion, and oneness, and the offerings a pure expression of the sacred sentiments of the of love, devotion, and oneness. And when an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out only for the purpose of enlightenment. And now let us look at a Dhyana Shloka on Devi Parashakti as we remember her beauty and splendor and sacred offerings. So let's Mula Agama Manonmani Dhyana Angahimabhushana Vichitravasanam Syat Tungama Kutojvala Manonmani Swarupam. The translation for this verse, it says, moon-like face holding the Veda books on hand, fire in eyes with lotus flower, gracing in blessing hands, and one hand with japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments and wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. The verse from the Mulagama, Manonmani Dhyana, describes ध्यायेत् देवीं त्रिनेत्रां शशिनिभवदनां वेदहस्तां ददानां सव्ये पद्मां वरदमपरे चाभयां चाक्षमालां दिव्यैराभरणैर्विभूषिततनुं ब्रह्मादिभिः पूजितां देवीमेव मनोन्मणिं प्रतिदिनं कामार्थदात्रीं शुभाम्. The translation for this verse: I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon and holding the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods, and auspicious boons for all actions every day. In addition, the divine element of gold is used in the worship of the divine in all our scriptures. So let us look at this scriptural reference from the Atharva Veda, which describes the significance of this divine element of gold. This verse says, Tredajutam janmanedam hiranyam agnirekam priyatamam babhuva somasyaikyam insitasya parapadata apamekam veda samveta ahutat hiranyam trividastvaivishe. The translation for this verse, triply born by birth is gold. From the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apa, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. The gold is a divine and spiritual power of healing and enlightenment. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears it and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. Agamas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihas is the most hostile, which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold, ritual fees were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. The horses and cows were dressed in gold. And the Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. The temples are constructed and paved in gold, last forever. So now let us look at the various traditional offerings that you can offer to Devi Parashakti today on the website. Get ready to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti. You can make any of these traditional offerings as your expression with sentiments while you prepare to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti. So the e-hundi offerings are similar to the hundi offerings in any traditional Hindu temple, where you can offer any amount of your choice and you can make the offerings in multiple currencies through the e-hundi offering. And Devi is described as the one who is fond of true devotion. So let us look at this verse which describes Devi's love for true devotion. Bhakti Priya Bhakti Gamya Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha Shambhavi Sharadharadhya Sharvani Sharmadaini. The translation for this verse, Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all fear. If there's any fear in the minds of devotees, Devi is sure to remove the bottom of our lives when our thoughts turn more and more inwards. The role for the divine is known and understood here, means the one who is worshipped by Devi Sharada herself, Saraswati. Sharvani is the wife of Lord Shiva, being a Purana who bestows happiness on devotees. And you can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your kanika, your token of gratitude, through the e-hundi offerings, and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and grace of Devi Parashakti being shown. Offering of the conscious resolution. And this verse from the Devi Mahatmya, chapter 12, verse 34, describes Tayaitan mohyate vishvam shaiva vishvam prasuyate saya chitta cha vijanam tushtarudhim prayaschati. The translation for this verse, the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess being prayed without interest in anything gives that salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. Sankalpa, the conscious resolution, blesses the person offering with all the fruition of the desire and wishes that he is yearning for. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sahasranama Swarna Kasu. This is the offering of the pure gold coin inscribed with the sacred name of one of her things, can be made on the website also. And in the Lalita Sahasranama, Devi is described as Nama Parayana Prita, she who likes the various repetition of her names. And this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnaka, so the gold coin, pure gold coin inscribed with names of Devi Parashakti. This is a very special and unique offering of the gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, and receive the blessings of imbibing the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself. And you can make any of 3 different denominations, and you can offer any number of coins as you would like to offer. This offering can be made on the website www.kailasamailer.com. The gold finger ring embedded with pearl. And this verse describes the beauty of Devi Parashakti adorned with pearls. It says, Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram purnendu vaktra prabham shinjannu purakinkini manidharam padma prabhabhasuram sarvabhita parani rama sevitam Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaram nithim. The translation of this verse: I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls, and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small, the daughter of the mountain, whose worship Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi. And you can make this offering of the angut, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, to Devi Parashakti, as you be blessed and showered by her compassion and pure love in all your business endeavors. So you can make this offering of the Mukta Anguti in 3 different sizes, and we can also register for this on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the Kanika Agama verse describes the significance of the gold lotus. It says, Ashtavidyeshwaropeta kumbha varana samyutam sarve sasutra vastradhya hema pankaja bhushitaha sapidhanas purachascha pakva bilva palaprabha snapanadhyaya samsiddha pramanena samanvitaha. The translation of this verse: all the kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with a new cloth, lotus flower made of gold. For using the lotus in the worship of Paramashiva, almost everything in the worship of the ultimate, involving the consecration of deities of worship or meditating on the mudras and asanas used during worship, involves the lotus pericarp, the lotus petals. The lotus is a divine flower in the Vedic tradition. Shakti of Paramashiva is also called the lotus. Base of Paramashiva Linga is a lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus, one who is about to bloom. And you can offer the gold lotus in any of 3 different sizes, any and every adverse situations in life. So you can make the offering of the gold lotus, the Swarna Padma Pushpa, on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next of the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti is described in this verse. It says, Nakadhiti Sanchanna Namajjanatamo Padadvaya Prabhajala Parakrita Saroruha. The transverse: You whose brightness from the toenails destroys, you whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower too. And you can make this offering of the gold touring the Swarnameti to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. Be in constant gratitude for make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. To Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry. And Devi is described as Sudha Sharabhivarshini. She who nerves from the Sahasrara. She who gives the very pleasant Sahasrara, which is fully open sentiment of gratitude. And you can offer the Swarna Mangtika to Devi Parashakti and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude in the space of complete completion. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. The next traditional offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. The Saundarya Lahari verse Shloka 83 states that the nails of Devi Parashakti have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of celestial beings. Devi Tamoguna in this verse is the dark, and it is indicative of the ignorance in the minds of devotees, and by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain the ultimate knowledge. Offering the Pratyaksha Pada Puja blesses the Yajaman with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti, and the Nijavatar of Devi Parashakti, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. From disciple to guru, and you can make this on the website. W of Sevas is the offering of the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of the sacred cloth. And the offering of the sacred cloth, the Vastra Seva, is a traditional offering which blesses the devotee with the offering. The Yajaman is blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessed Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhana, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. The offering of the Vastra Seva, the offering of the So here you can see the various offerings that can be made to Devi Parashakti on the website, the traditional offerings. The e-hundi can be offering can be made in any amount and in multiple currencies. The Sankalpa chanting is the offering of subconscious resolution, which can be made on the website. The Devi Sahasranama Kasu, the offering of the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. The Mukta Anguti, the gold fingering embedded with pearl, different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, which can also be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Metti, the gold flooring for the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. The Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry representing gratitude to Guru. And the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of the sacred cloth. And all of these offerings can be made on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And here you can see the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And You can scroll down offerings for Devi Parashakti. You can click on this link on step, the traditional offerings of ornaments and sevas to Devi Parashakti. And if you'd like to make an intention to make an offering today and be blessed to receive the blessings and grace of Devi Parashakti to manifest your intent in reality, you can fill in the form on step 1. Once you've made your traditional offerings, if you would like to make the conscious resolution for yourself and your family members, you can fill out the sankalpa on the form on step 3. So the E dollars, Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, Canadian dollars, euros, Indian rupees, Singaporean dollars, Malaysian ringgits, Great Britain pound, and Chinese yen. And you can make this offering in any of the any amount of your choice. And you can also make the offerings of the traditional ornaments and sevas to Devi Parashakti on the website. You can make the offering of the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasi, the Mukta Anguti, the gold hairline, the Swarnameti, the gold touring for Devi Parashakti, the Swarnamangtika, the gold hairline jewelry, the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, and the Vastra Seva, and the traditional offerings. You can offer to Devi Parashakti on the website by clicking on the links on step 2. And the website is www.kailasamela.com/savers. And now, with this, let us get ready to find out more about the various facilities for the well-being of and the Kailasas all over the world for the well-being of humanity. And let us find out more about all of this from the de facto spirit. So let us now get ready for the next segments and also get ready to prepare to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti.
Nithyanandam. Welcome back to the segment of Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers, which are defects of Kailasa. His Divine Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam blessings. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Svandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So what will you learn? What are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Kailasa's contributions for global peace? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's spiritual solution is Kailasa's contributions. Join Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers. The crisis that we are under today, the aftermath makes disastrous. Now let us see some of the statistics and current news. Australia reported new record number of coronavirus cases recently when the country continues to battle the third wave of the coronavirus. The World Health Organization makes a big statement about Delta variant of COVID-19. That the World Health Organization said that the Delta variant of coronavirus has elbowed out all which are being sequenced. Less than 1% of alpha, beta, and gamma are currently circulating. It's really predominantly Delta around the world, said the World Health Organization technical lead on COVID-19, Maria Van Kerkhove. COVID-19 has now killed more Americans than the influenza pandemic did. The coronavirus pandemic has than the 1918 Americans and killed an estimated 0.65% with 675,000 deaths. COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of Americans, 0.2% with 676. Now that the US pandemic has killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. Axios and other Associated Press reported the grim milestone recently. Pandemic as death toll crosses that of 1918 to 19 influenza flu did. People infected with alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus into the air than the original COVID strain, says the University of Maryland. Researchers suggested spread vaccination to help stop spread of the virus. 6 feet distance may not be enough, about 6.5 feet may not be enough to sufficiently prevent transmission of virus carrying airborne aerosols indoors, according to a study. COVID-19 Delta variant still most concerning, says the World Health. Even with the emergence of the new COVID-19 variant, the World Health Organization said recently. COVID-19 pandemic is nowhere under control in the United States, says the Chief Medical Advisor, Anthony Fauci. He said, right now we are still in because we have 160,000 new infections a day in good control. In an interview with ACT of the virus, with over 4 million infections adding up in the past few weeks. The increase in COVID cases comes as the US administration earlier this month announced that it is planning to provide booster shots of the vaccine as the Delta variant has become dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. The surge in Delta variant is driven by the low vaccination coverage in many communities across the United States, according to the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In a country of our size, you can't be 1,000 before you start feeling comfortable. According to a report on COVID-19 made the World Economic Forum report, COVID-19 made the world less peaceful. You can see from this graph that COVID-19 violent incidences and fatalities in January 2020 to April 2021. You can see a sudden spike in the April. The violent incidents related to the pandemic peaks in April 2020. Younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. Average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety disorder and or depressive disorder, what it was January to June 2019 was 11%, and now it rose up to 41.1% in just 1 month in January 2021. Nearly 8 in 10 stress in America, a national health crisis. 8 in 10, that's about 78% say the coronavirus pandemic is a big stress over the course of the pandemic. The COVID COVID-19 could exacerbate doctors' existing mental health burden. More than 60,000 US contracted COVID-19 and 300 have died. Of the health workers who have treated patients during the China's COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety. Self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers. Before COVID-19 pandemic, depression was 1%. The anxiety was 29%, and now it rose up to 72% during with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions. And 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Nearly 82% of women surveyed said their lives are disrupted by the pandemic. Nearly 70% of women who have experienced these disruptions are concerned they carry growth as a result. The globe into recession, with per capita income contracting the largest fraction of the countries globally since 1870. International Labour Organization, a threat to peace building in conflict-affected nations. In Mumbai, coming back to India, the city mayor said third wave of COVID is already upon Mumbai, pointing to a sudden spike in case and regarding the matter had already been made in Nagpur. Speaking of the coming festive season in Maharashtra, the mayor urged people to remain in their homes. Have been asked to allow only 10 people and have them work in shifts. Breakthrough infections found in 25% of health staff. A little over 25% of healthcare workers were infected with coronavirus despite getting fully vaccinated. A recent study has revealed, giving an insight on the breakthrough infection due to the Delta variant, and maximum hospitals in Delhi NCR found that breakthroughs were far more common during the Delta outbreak in Delhi than previously reported. A new coronavirus strain known as Mu, which was first identified in Colombia in January, had been designated a variant of interest organization. Now that we have seen the statistics across the world, the grim reality of the pandemic, not only it is affecting the health. So how do we cope up with current COVID-19 pandemic? So it is important to address the COVID pandemic, which is seeing another wave, destroying many more lives. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, the pandemic fatigue setting in as a result of is resulting in this phase of delusional decisions like, so what, if I die, it's okay. I can't live forever in this lockdown. Going out and then exposing oneself and putting the risk on yourself and others with irresponsibility and inauthenticity is the delusional arrogance. The global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately look life as it had been experienced even back in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. Drastic change is the order of the day to redefine the world with new economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Shiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives to carry them through this. To join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers at the https://kai.org/Kailasa care. We start now. Making peace with the nature is possible. Even amid pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year environmental, societal, economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we cannot achieve the sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty by 2030, if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economic and societies by valuing nature and putting its health decisions. Now let's watch a small clip making peace with the nature. United States Institute of Peace. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states requires concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that this crisis will fuel new conflict around the world while stemming prospects for resolving ongoing ones. And universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to the General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of the nationality, ethnicity, and faith. A new social contract between people, governments, the private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of poverty with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits for all, to the global peace and the mental health and physical health, and many other issues that the world is facing today. International peace and security. Vedic tradition beautifully describes Yasta Sarvani Bhutani Atmani Ivanu Pushyati Sarva Bhuteshu Chatmanam Tadona Vigagupshate. Isha Upanishad verse 6. Global peace is the bliss. Whenever a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole enough like incarnation, he moves the whole world and manifests peace. This is the source for the global peace in the level of scopic level. Whatever level it may be, global peace is the byproduct of individual bliss. Self-transformation, secret to achieve global peace. Now let's listen from the supreme pontiff of Hinduism.
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply try to do. You would have done it. Raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do. Socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. The world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, years ago, in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture, some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war, there is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. 10,000 years ago the same. Then understand, as only good prevailed. Truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the God of Adam and Eve. Every religion has God's great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past. Again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. You read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things. Enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find little more. And if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, things much worse than modern day. Never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, the CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. And I tell you, enlightenment is only service. As now you are also the part group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you will wait, that's the only thing that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country, their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. What to say? Games. The idea of peace. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive. Something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. It's not good. So, no revolution is going to help. Only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society. I'll tell, oh, you should all. Social answer means.
Now, let's listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that Sri Kailas is all about peace-based powerfulness.
Space of Shanti. The space of Shanti grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep peace or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything. Pure Peace-based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace-based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness. Powerlessness is weakness. Peace-centered powerfulness. Powerfulness-centered peace. All the Upanishads starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra starts with Shanti mantra. Peace-based powerfulness is a fundamental requirement for Tattva to manifest. That is why people who don't want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power peace in our understand, but so remember this very clearly. Peace, genetic structure, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. With more peace-based powerfulness developing in you. Nothing can be compared to unclutching. Spend more and more time, energy in unclutching. It will never be wasted. Time spent on unclutching is the most productive time for you, because unclutching complete. It makes your very biomemory, muscle memory, core structure, molecular structure, genetic structure, DNA structure, everything. All the 8 energy flow circuits, 7 energy flows, 1 the pure conscious explosion. So totally 8 energy flow circuits exist in you. All the 8 explodes and clutch. Understand?
Now, let's listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that every prayer in Hinduism starts with the peace and ends with peace.
Every chanting, every prayer in Hinduism ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Means peace, peace, peace. Hinduism is the real religion. Loving peace, individual level. Hinduism lasts all 56 nations, 200 states, 10 to planet Earth, human beings. Wherever Hinduism is practiced, kept alive, the ideal of global peace. Just do this 110 religions and list how many people they converted in last 200 years, how many people they killed. You yourself will realize Hinduism is the more peace-loving and peace-living religion. Neither terrorism, neither conversion nor terrorism. Peace-living religion. I give you all my blessings. It is we Hindus need to keep the global peace as a living possibility. Talking about global peace will not work. Working for global peace only as a Hindu or practicing Hindu should work for global peace. Global peace.
Now, let us see the Kailasa's mission. And Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora are working for global peace and to give a super consciousness breakthrough to humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to revive a conscious world where the global issues at the climate, economic, social, health, and humanitarian levels cease to exist from their very root, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels, individual, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of the human mind body emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Some of the ways the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides spiritual solutions to combat and other issues. Since the beginning of the global lockdown, the amount and activism Kailasa has increased multifold through the Paramashivoham program, bringing super consciousness breakthrough and contribute minutes now. Paramashiva Sankalpa chanting, the sacred Sanskrit mantra chanting to heal 24/7 via Zoom sessions. Spiritual healing to one and all 24/7, helping humanity to cope up with insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves, learn to cope up with emotions like depression and tough situations in relationships, providing alternative solutions to worldly problems through power manifestation, initiating thousands in providing healthy solutions like a technique to clear the stomach from the Ayurvedic solutions, which ultimately brings clarity out to the spiritual truth and give a conscious breakthrough. In the long run, establishing self-cities, continuing and intensifying the service of Annadan, free food in Nithyananda Annalayas around the world, including Tirunamalai and Los Angeles, paving way to the New World Order, starting the agriculture, Adi Kailas, and several other locations. Peacekeepers of Kailasa offering various life solutions from the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hindu negativity simply through the presence of the avatar and his order of monks, offering Maheshwara Puja to the natural calamities hit victims. Bhava Samadhi Darshan to raise the individual consciousness breakthrough. Devi Parashakti Akashic reading, the cosmic revelations. Society was created with delusional ideas of too many human beings' blind spots and the decisions made from those blind spots. If the visionary of a civilization or country or nation has blind spots when he for it, the whole civilization suffers these blind spots forever. These pralaya, which is melting down everything which is delusion based. The world as we know it, which is compelling humanity to make 100% lifestyle change, is something to be deeply dwelled upon. All problems need to be addressed with spiritual fatigue, collapsing, depression, destruction, and also give them breakthrough and revive the enlightened civilization. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously gives spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. Some of the spiritual solutions are unclutching, practicing completion, practicing oneness, practicing ajapa japa of Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, consciously building deep feeling connection, yoga, puja, vegetarian diet, and nirahara samyama. The people from 13th May and at any given point of time, there are 4 to 8 zones actively unclutched. Join this moment at http://kailasa life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from the scriptures, the cognitions rooted in the highest truth, the lifestyle based on the living and radiating life, and powerful way of living and realizing ultimate potential provide the foundation for peace on planet Earth. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has launched the Minutes for Peace initiative, which is aimed in 2014, just after 2 years of program participation in the meditation and completion techniques. In 1976, it was found that when 1% of the community practiced the meditation, the crime rate was reduced by 16% on an average. The current tally on the minutes for it is where people have gathered in large numbers and participated in meditations and rituals. The total number comes out to be a staggering 409 billion minutes for peace so far. Through the object, the de facto spiritual embassies in organic, sattvic, vegetarian meal so far, giving free food to all. The citizens is the economic policy of deriving the reference from Vedas and Agamas. Recently, the humanitarian initiative launched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the opening of Kailasa COVID care centers in India, where possible point of contact with the outer world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened this service free to all people, regardless in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socio-economic status, food, shelter, internet, cost, and for an indefinite period of time. The outcome has been a splendid zero infection rate so far among the participants. The pandemic at a community level, along with guidelines and recommendations for governments, has been recognized and accepted by the United Nations as well. And now you can see some of the glimpses where the participants of the COVID care program, Pontiff of Hinduism, are enjoying healthy, blissful, spiritual lifestyle in multi-layered protection. They enjoy stress-free time following a spiritual morning routine, doing yoga, doing puja, temple seva, kara seva, and celebrating festivals. Join the Kailasa's COVID care protection centers and save your life. If you are in India, especially join these COVID care centers and protect your life. So when the first world countries closed their borders, so various centers across India and well as rushes to aid India as India finds itself on the verge of COVID-19. The multiple free COVID Kailasa also offered cosmic revelations, and services offered during the pandemic are medical care, which includes allopathy, Ayurvedic, Siddha medicine, infrastructure to accommodate thousands, accommodation for multi-layered quarantine, emergency ambulances, ICU on wheels, personal protective medical equipment, food security, and organic farming. So join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Center.org/Kailasa Care. With this, we're going to the next part of our segment and start chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And continue to sit with a deep space of gratitude to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
मधुरापुरी मीनाक्षी समयपुर इंद्राक्षी कांची कामाक्षी काशी विशालाक्षी कैलास ज्ञानाक्षी शिवशङ्करि शापविमोचनि शोकविनाशिनि शास्त्रस्ते सहिते शिवशक्ति शुभङ्करि शुम्भरि शुम्भपदासक्ते सकलमनोनित्य सुमङ्गलि नित्यनिते करुणकटाक्षिणि सूक्ष्मविवेक्षणि काङ्क्षित साक्षिणि सर्वकृते शुभजन शाश्वत मानस भावित कामित याचित पूर्णकृते सुकर सुखीकृत दुष्कर नाशकृते जननिन्दित तोदकृते जय परमेश्वरि नित्य सुमङ्गलि नित्य नितेश्वरि पालय माम्। देहजिते शुभवरदे विभवे विमले कमले कमलाम्बुजपादयुते करकमले करुणानिलये कमलाक्षयुते करशूलयुते जय परमेश्वरि नित्य सुमङ्गलि नित्य नितेश्वरि पालय माम्। सहित स्मरणस्तर दुष्करनाद च मे हृदये शिव शिव शब्द निनाद मृदङ्ग श्रुते कुरु नृत्य ममाधिपते शिव नटराज समेत हिताण्डवलास्य कृते शिव हर्ष कृते जय परमेश्वरि नित्य सुमङ्गलि नित्य नितेश्वरि पालय माम्। बहु अवतार कृते जनपालित शासित भूमि पवित्र कृते युग शम्भविते सकल नित्यानन्द रूप शरीर कृते परमशिवेश्वरि नित्य महेश्वरि नित्य कलामयि नित्य नुते परमशिवेश्वरि नित्य महेश्वरि नित्य कलामय परमेश्वरि नित्य सुमङ्गलि नित्य नितेश्वरि
ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி கருமங்களை கொண்டிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் கருமங்களை கொண்டிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்த தேவியும் நீயே இந்த பிண்டத்திலும் வாழுகின்ற ஆவியும் நீயே அண்டமெங்கும் ஆளுகின்ற தேவியும் நீயே இந்த பிண்டத்திலும் வாழும் நீயே அண்டத்தையும் தந்த நித்திய ஞானத்தின் தாயே யோக தண்டத்தையும் தந்த நித்திய ஞானத்தின் தாயே தீனிலே பிறந்தவனே நித்யானந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி நித்யானந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி நித்யானந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி
Nitaka Junu Nataraja Talang Takadi
Nithyanandeshwari Paramashivoham Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande I welcome you all. De facto Kailashians from all over the world. I welcome all the Sarvanya Pita Kartas, Sarvanya Pita Yajamans, Sarvanya Pita Manifestors, Sarva Parityahis, participants, Kailasas E-Gurukul students, Kailasas NHU students, Kailasas ministers, ambassadors, diplomats, e-diplomats, citizens, consulate generals and supporters, and Mantreshwaras, Vidyeshwaras, Ganeshwaras, Lokeshwaras, Astreshwaras. I welcome all of you, everyone sitting with us all over the world, and all those watching on Kailasa TV, Kailasas Nithyananda TV, Kailasas HN TV, and other Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platform. I welcome all of you with my love. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa on this auspicious Vijayadasami day. My blessings to all of you, the whole universe. Auspicious Vijayadasami day, I'll reveal the cosmic signs of Shaktis. You will receive not only knowledge but experience, so you can start living it, manifest it. It's Vijayadasami day. All the blessings to all of you from every corner of the world, from all lokas of the universe, of Paramashiva, Nijavatara, today successfully on this incarnation. Now, listen to the cosmic signs, cosmic revelations, ultimate sacred secrets related to the Shaktis. Understand? And using the human modern day science is able to understand one, gravitation, the power of gravity, gravitation power. Second, electromagnetic force. Third, weak nuclear. Fourth, strong nuclear force. Congratulations to all of you, so you can understand these powers and forces in the higher level, from the higher dimensions. Understand? Whatever is microcosm is happening in microcosm. If you understand the laws of gravity, all the laws related to gravity, all the understandings human mind reach about gravity, you can easily understand the greed happening in the macrocosm is gravity. Gravity happening in the microcosm is, listen, greed happening in the mac is gravity. Gravity, a microcosm you have about gravity on your greed, and all the understandings you have about the principle of greed on the principle of gravity, you will have powerful insights about your life. Gravitating is nothing but greed for more. Greed for more. Listen carefully. The greed for more happening in the macrocosm is gravity. The gravity happening in the microcosm is greed. Study all the principles related to gravitation in every level, whether Newton's initial level theories, Einstein's quantum level theories, or the modern day, recent parallel universe, parallel life understandings and revelations. Study all of it. All of it to your greed. Becomes active or passive, aggressive or regressive, how it exists, how it manifests, how it manipulates, how you attract, you gravitate, what you empowered with the knowledge, science, power, manifesting what you want. If you understand gravity and map it to the principle of greed, listen intensely, deeply. I sincerely recommend clarity with this context, how the gravitocosm and the greed happening in the microcosm, deep sacred secrets, powerful revelations about greed. If you know the inner nuances, how to gravitate what you want in your life, gravitating even things which you don't want in your life, you will understand your life deeply, and you will also gravitate what you want, and you will stop gravitating what you don't want. For that, understanding cosm, able to map it to your microcosm. Listen, I am repeating. Gravity happening in the macrocosm and greed happening in the microcosm, both function on the same principles, on the same law, on the same truth. Listen intensely. today's satsang is a very powerful message about the science of Shaktis. Listen to it at least 5 times. Only then you will be able to grasp the whole. Only then you will be able to enjoy the whole thing. Only then you will be able to internalize the whole thing. Only then you will be able to manifest it as an experience. So now, listen. The first understanding about greed. As I said, greed happening is gravity. Gravity happening in the microcosm is greed. That's the first principle. First understanding. The second force is electromagnetic force. Fear happening in the macrocosmic level is electromagnetic. Macrocosmic level is fear. Understand? All the principles